just leaving Brandon's shop. We got all the lights and all the little piddly stuff wired up and done on the truck, finally. It was a nightmare. I know Brandon hates it. He hates me for agreeing to do it. I know that. I'm well aware of that. So, today's video, we cut some really good trees. Hopefully, they're calling for some really bad weather tonight and tomorrow. Hopefully, we don't get any rain out of that. And if we do, let it be down here in southwest Missouri and not up there. Around Harrisonville where we're working, no rain. We need no rain up there. We need good dry conditions where we can run and get logs out. I would like to have 15,000 feet out plus to sell next Tuesday, which won't be too hard to do as long as we can get optimal working weather. That's the only thing we need. You'll see in today's video, I didn't picture it, but we threw a track on the skid steer. It didn't come completely off. It just came out of the rollers, which I think Brandon and I are going to try to fix that, because usually I've only had it happen a couple times to me, even when I had my previous skid steer. I've never had one come completely off, so it's really not too big of a deal to get it back on, but a lot of times it's easier if you got two people to do it. So we're just we're going to try to get some big pry bars and get it pried back on there. So hopefully that'll work. Hopefully we can get it on there, not tear anything up or throw a track completely off. So thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy today's video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on all of our social outlets, Turner Logging LLC at Instagram and Facebook. A lot more active on Instagram than they are Facebook. Facebook. Don't like Facebook. So yeah, logger threads. We got the new harvester. People are getting their new not harvester, but it's the old design. People are getting their new tree huggers design in. I've talked to several people today on the logger threads vine that people have got their shirts in, and they're really digging their shirts. So be sure to get on the website and check those shirts out. If not, come see us in person in about 2 weeks in Richmond, Virginia. We'll be out there at the expo. Me and Shanae will be. So check that out, guys. We appreciate it. We will see you in tomorrow's video. We're starting the morning off. I'm bringing the skid steer back in here to kind of build a road, or a series of roads, should I say. Dad's on up in here. He brought his Polaris Ranger up here today, and we've got the saws and gas and oil loaded up in it. And I actually rode back in here with him until I just jumped off and said, Dad, let me get the skid steer. We're going to cut some roads in. So I walked back out here and grabbed the machine, hooked the bucket up. Now we're headed back to help out. He'll probably start cutting yesterday where I was barking trees. So I've got several barked ahead of him, so he'll be good to go while I get these roads built. Then I can join in and start cutting, and cut or bark, either one. I'd rather cut than bark. That barking's horrible work, but we're gonna start right here. Hear the background, we got Metallica going, so we got good road building music. We're just gonna smooth a lot of this out, get debris out of the road, get it to where we can get through here a little easier with Dad's Ranger. You ain't gotta go fast, just take your time, get the bucket down. A lot of times I'll hit the float button and I'll just float with the bucket instead of dig in. You can kind of level a lot of this stuff out when you do that. Of course, it's uneven, so we'll have to come back. See, there's what happens when you don't float. You start to dig in when you get uneven. This is where your backup camera shines too. So I'll jump off here. We'll get back to doing this. We've done a lot of road building this morning. We're trying to get back here in the back. Of course, these roads got to be built for the skidder anyway. And I told the landowners I'd make them some walking trails in here because they like to walk in here with their dogs. And they had some trails, but I told them I'd make them some good trails. So, like always, I'm going to follow through with that. So we're taking the skid steer, and I'm really lowering the bucket and cutting roads in, cutting all the scrub out. Of course, we'll run back through here at the skidder too, but we're going to go back here to the back and cut some of these big ones real quick. Now that I got a good road. Dad just got done cutting these couple big ones here, so now that I've got some roads cut in, I can get back to cutting as well. The old skid steer's really earned its keep today, which I don't like having to do stuff like this too often. I'm always extremely cautious because I don't like to scratch the machine or take a risk in busting the glass or lights. so I don't really get in too big a hurry when I'm pushing out these roads deep in the brush or the timber. Pretty good trees down here. Let's go on back and look at the good ones. If you ever want to know what it's like to be nervous cutting a big tree, this is it. I was pretty nervous cutting this thing. It had a hard lean to it. There wasn't really much for spurs, for boring. The spurs were, or the flares, spurs, whatever you want to call it, they were minimal. This is a big chunk of wood. I got it right here at the ground. And you can see, which this didn't hurt it, I left a little bit more than I should have hold on this back side, which it didn't. It just pulled the very outer fiber of it. Which you can see, it didn't hurt the log any at all. That was a beast of a tree. They still make me nervous cutting big trees like that, especially when they lean hard or got big crotch tops in them that make them want to bust easy. It's one wrong move and a lot of money goes away for your landowner and yourself. So things got to be pretty close to perfect. Dad's over here barking ahead of me. And I've got two right there to cut. That's another big one right there in front of us, and that's actually a pretty good sized tree there. But in comparison to these things, they're not that big. Here's a nice little residual tree we're gonna leave. There's another one there. A lot of good small walnut in here growing, coming on. It's a good timber stand. Look at that. Look how dark that wood's getting. That's a heck of a log right there. First cut will probably be around 23, 24 inches. It's a good piece of wood. We'll wade through the jungle here and go see what Dad's got for us. There's a pretty good group of them over here where he's at. It's a shame this tree's wormy. That's got a really good sap line on it. It cut off really good. It's a good tree. It'll still bring a lot of money, but it won't be up there in the high dollar brackets just because of all the worm in it. Worm, bird peck, whatever some of you guys want to call it. We just call it worm. You can see how it's real dark colored in the bark. For you guys who don't know what worm is, it's these little holes. It's called bird peck. All up through it. I've heard a lot of different things about how or why it's there. I don't know what's wrong and what's right, but I just know it affects the value of high-grade veneer logs. And I know a lot of people always, especially landowners, they always want to argue like, oh, it'll give it more figure, it'll be worth more money. Yeah, theoretically it should be. It should be, and you know, I could, trust me, I'm on your side, I really am. I'm just working with what they give us here for options. But yeah, we've got 3 more right here. These 2 are really good sized trees. That's not a bad sized tree itself. And we got a residual right there we'll leave stand. See that big one out there? Now, a lot of people always ask me about, you know, just taking care of your logs. And I preach it a lot, taking care of your logs and clean it up. There's no secret to, you know, having good averaging logs, guys. I mean, it all goes with size and quality first of all, but the next thing is taking care of your logs, keeping your logs clean. It's like anything. You gotta take a little extra time. See, just like shaving this off real flush and clean. Man, I see guys that'll leave this kind of crotch come out, or now up here, I haven't got that all shaved down yet. I'll shave it when I get to the deck, but I'll make a log out of that there because I ain't gonna leave it. A lot of guys would, but I'm not. But I'll shave that off flush right there and I'll make a good log. It might just be a 7-footer, but hey, that's 7 foot of log and however many board feet that somebody would have left laying here. I'm not gonna do it. I won't do it. I'm real adamant about taking care of my logs and keeping clean logs when I get them out to the deck area. And I try to shave them, do all my shaving on my logs back here in the timber. There's a good log though. Pretty. I hear Dad on the Ranger, so I better hurry. He'll be waiting on me. Had a little mishap. Got a track wanting to come off. I thought I could limp it out, but I can't. Man, we're just going to have to park it right there until I can come back with some big pry bars and try to get that thing put back on its rollers and sprockets. It's still on there, but it's wanting to jump off. Dad's ahead of me on the Ranger. It's a heck of a deal. What a way to end a good day, huh? What a way to end a good day. Oh well, could always be worse. Could always be worse. Got some pretty good logs today. Now, if this rain will just hold off, we'll be doing all right. Here comes the cavalry here.